Hello everyone and welcome inside of the Rogers studio for another episode of Knights Talk. I'm your host Matt Sanderson. We have two very special guests in studio with us today. We have PR personnel Jason Akers. Along with that we have head coach Nathan Parrish as well. Guys, thanks for joining me here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so Nathan, the team is a very young team this year. You only have two returners from last season. Correct. But it seems like everything's really starting to gel together now, especially now that you're sitting in fifth place in the standings. You had a little bit of a nice run there before the break.
Yeah, we had probably 5 games in hand to make up, and we made the most of it. We're sitting 1 point currently out of fourth place, so we need to keep pushing here. We have 12 games remaining in the regular season and hoping to make the most of them as well.
When you look at this team as a whole, and especially maybe even coming into this year, were you thinking like, I don't want to bring up expectations, but you look at it and you say, okay, let's see what kind of happens this year. It was maybe a feel it out kind of year. Are you happy the way things have gone?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a slow start, and our schedule dictated that as well. I thought a lot of teams had time to build ground on us and get structure in place before we could. So now that we've made those games up, we've proven to teams that we're right there with them for sure.
Jason, at the start of the season, it was a very different feeling, obviously, with these young guys being here. How excited were you guys from your end, from the PR point of view of this young up-and-coming team?
Thanks, Matt. No, we're very excited. Every year at the preseason, we're excited to have new faces in town. We enjoy having the guys throughout the community. All our guys like to volunteer at various community events throughout the town. We try and keep our faces out there as much as we can.
And you do a very good job with getting these guys out here, bringing out Coach Nathan as well. I know it's part of your job, but it must be really good for you as well to kind of get a bond with these guys as you're bringing them from event to different event.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, I take great pride and joy in working with the Knights. It's a real honor. Nathan and the other staff members are very great. They're professional. Again, just a real pleasure to have all these guys in Meaford.
Nathan, you look at the remainder of your schedule and have a couple up-and-coming tough games, but at the bottom line for you, what's your goal heading into playoffs here for this young team?
Well, sitting 1 point out of fourth place right now, I think we need to focus on getting fourth place to get home ice advantage over that fifth place team in the playoffs, and that's a realistic goal for the staff right now. We'll deliver that message again to the boys in the room. We just started back yesterday after a long break, so we want to make sure we're conditioned after the long break and ready to go and push for that fourth place.
I want to mention one thing to you quickly, and it's a very alarming thing that I noticed when I was broadcasting these games, and the power play that you guys have dealt with. At the beginning of the season, it seemed like it wasn't all there, but have you slowly maybe found your stride in that?
Yeah, we really, assistant coach Matt Fleming focuses on our power play unit. And one of our last games before break there, we played in Bradford, and I believe that night we won with 7 goals, and I believe 6 of them were on the power play. So Mac's head was pretty swelled that night. But no, I think that when we realized, okay, it's clicking, and it's good to go into the second half or the last half of the season here.
Jason, from your point of view, from what you see this squad heading into the second half of the season, what's something that maybe jumps out to you that maybe you're looking forward to?
Well, yes. Excuse me. What I'm looking forward to is seeing them back on the ice. I've talked to a few guys over the Christmas break. You know, they were excited to have a little break, but now they're excited to get back on the ice. So everybody's gelling. It's working well. I think they're on fire, and I can't wait to see the second half of the season.
All right, we'll quickly bring up the standings here and where everybody's located. We're going to bring up the standings currently in the North Division, and the Bradford Rattlers sitting there still on top of a very, very good team, 24-2-1 on the season. Ville Marie as well Ville Marie's dropped off a little bit, and actually the Knights have picked up a couple wins against them, which has been very helpful. Temiskaming there in third place, and then Almagwin. And right there, as Nathan Parrish mentioned earlier, only 1 point back of Almagwin and the new Tecumseh, West Nipissing, Bradford Bulls, South Muskoka, and Ottawa. From there, we'll go over to the South Division quickly too, and you see St. George in first place by a good amount over Tillsonburg, and then Windsor, Kingsville, North York, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara, and Northumberland round out your top 8 there, and then you see the lower half there. Tough for a squad like London, 3-26-2, but you have those bad seasons, you have those good seasons, so a little bit of a learning curve there. But you look at that Ville Marie game, for instance. I know the first one I was able to do, they came in at the beginning of the year and had a lot of swagger in their step, and you guys were able to knock them down a little bit of a peg.
Yeah, just keeping it simple. Our message to the guys were, the guys in the NHL that keep a simple game, get paid millions of dollars to get it out off the glass and keep it simple, and that was our message going into that game. And then going up to Ville Marie, we had a tough little go there, and then when we got up on that road trip, we started in West Nipissing the night before and got a win, and then took that into Saturday night in Ville Marie and got them again. It was a real good taste in our mouth. We've been around for 6 years and yet to get a win in Quebec, so that one felt real good. Jason,
so like I mentioned, as you get into the second half of the season, if there's one thing that you feel that you need to work on or something heading into that part, what would you necessarily say from your point of view?
That's a great question. Something we need to work on. I think we need to focus. We need to work on focusing and, working as a team. The guys are great. They've done well, but, this is going to separate the men from the boys. We need to work on working as a team and focus.
You look at this team, and there's so many different guys that have different backgrounds on this club. Do you find it cool with some of these kids, with where they've come from, how well they gel together all as a unit?
Yeah, it's incredible. We do a lot of team building, off the ice. All the players get along well. Yeah, sure, they do have their, set twos from time to time, but for the most part, it's a brotherhood. They're very bonded, strong, and I'm looking forward to the next half of the season.
All right. Well, let's quickly show the upcoming games here and where the Meaford Knights sit here with some of their opponents. Taking on South Muskoka tomorrow night. We'll be bringing you that game from the St. Vincent Community Center. And then Wednesday, January the 16th, they play the Bradford Bulls. And then Bradford Bulls again on January the 17th. South Muskoka and their Bradford Rattlers. That's going to be a big challenge. New to Tecumseh, Bradford Bulls, the Rattlers again, South Muskoka, and then Almagwin to round out the regular season there. So I'm not going to keep you, I'm going to let you guys go, but you guys have a lot of preparation to do, especially for tomorrow, Coach. So all the best to you for the rest of the season, and I hope that you guys are able to creep up those standings, but also make a big splash in the playoffs. So thanks again for coming on, guys.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, so until next time, we'll see you on Knights Talk. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night. We're going to be broadcasting from the St. Vincent Community Center. Myself and Gord Chapman will be there. Should be an exciting one. Make sure to grab those tickets, get out to that game, and pack the community center. Thanks a lot.